Hello, my name is Matt Linnes. This is day 25 of talking to a camera every single day for 5 minutes to improve my confidence for the next 100 days. And today, the topic I would like to talk about is balance. Now, a good life involves balance. There's concepts like, a lot of people think with this sort of like post red pill society that you got to grind and grind and grind until you get your goals and then keep grinding, and then you can only stop once you have millions of pounds, you've got the best car, the best girl, and a complete disrespect for all the other people in your life. And obviously that's stupid. It's not true, and it's just not how it works. And obviously, there was a while when I was like the David Goggins mindset kind of person, so I know balance. I know improper balance because I would set these crazy goals. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like 2 months into me starting running, I ran a half marathon, and it was really hard, and I shouldn't have done it, and I over pushed myself. And because of that, the other things in my life at that time that weren't running, like my working out, I did less of that, even though it was something I really enjoyed, and I enjoyed getting bigger, getting stronger, looking better, feeling better. I cut back on that. I also cut back on like how much schoolwork I was doing. I was literally doing the bare minimum. And so because of that, because I didn't have the balance, I gained in one area, but I lost in other areas. So overall, I didn't even really gain anything other than, obviously in the long term, from that experience, I've learned and I've gained the experience of trying to find balance, because I realized that not having balance does not work. It's unsustainable, especially if you're thinking long term. If you're just thinking short term, sure, it's better to be unbalanced, right? Because you're going to make more progress in the short term if you're unbalanced. But in the long term, if you're regarding your enjoyment, your happiness, your fulfillment in life, taking a more balanced approach to things is going to make you more progress. There are lots of people out there who, including me in the past, who, you sort of watch a David Goggins podcast and he's just talking about, you just got to get out there, you got to grind, you got to do this, you just got to, sort of sink your teeth into the problem and get through it and push through it and put all of your effort, all of your eggs into one basket. But the issue with having all of your eggs in one basket is that the other baskets have no eggs, right? The other parts of your life and the other ways you surround yourself with people have nothing, right? You can't you can't be a massive party animal going out every night and wake up at 5 in the morning to go on 5K runs, right? It doesn't work. But you could, for example, go out on a Saturday night and then go on a run Saturday morning so that, you've done both. But it's about finding balance and finding systems that work for you so you can balance your long-term happiness with your short-term happiness, because a lot of these things, like this sort of like grind set, is really geared towards long term. I want to be in the best position in my life in the future, and I'm really willing to sacrifice the short term to get there. And that is an all right mindset until the short term becomes long term. If the short term's a couple days, you've just got to work through it. That's fine, but you're sacrificing those days. Those are days you're never going to get back. Time is a valuable resource because it's the only resource you can't get more of. So instead, taking the slower approach and saying, I'm going to do 20 minutes of this a day and having that consistently over a longer period of time, sure, it's probably going to take longer, but you're going to get more value from that time. And you're also going to enjoy the process more because you're not forcing yourself to do it so much. Because if you do anything for a really long amount of time with no breaks, you're going to get sick of it. Whether that's, you know, having a really over healthy lifestyle or going the other way and, going out drinking and partying all the time. Balance is the key to finding happiness because it's the best of both worlds. The phrase, jack of all trades, master of none. But I would still prefer be a jack of all trades. I prefer be a 7 across the board than a 10 in one thing and a 0 in another. Anyway, goodbye.